Teddy. Vente a acostar. Acuéstate acá, Teddy. Acuéstate aquí. Aquí, acuéstate ahí. So that's going to be your chair right there. Can you put on your headphones?
Yeah.
Is it too hot here or you're good?
No, it's okay. Do I want something sweet?
There's this right here.
I say sweet. Not sour or spicy. I think after this, I'm gonna get a grip on.
Are they going to be open?
They are open. I just checked right now what message them to see what time are they close.
All right, well, acércate al mic. I need to make sure that I can hear you good.
Can you hear me?
No. Is it on? If no, press on.
Oh. There.
All right, talk.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. The day you come, nobody shows up.
There's nobody in the live?
No.
No, mom. That's a sign, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, I was fucking knocked out because la niña no se quería dormir. She was just freaking... At first, I thought she was going to go to sleep right away, but then she started sitting up, freaking moving side to side. Lo estaba parada, and I was like, dude, just freaking go to sleep.
Yeah, that's how she was the other day when I had the podcast. So dormí hasta tarde. I wanna see how the camera looks. I might have to adjust yours.
Mm.
Yeah, nobody's on, dude. Oh man, dude, it's hot, dude. Oh no!
What?
Oh no!
Can
Can I get a napkin?
Where are they? Here. Change. Should have been on the live.
Fuck. We got 1 minute. Dude, it fell on my drink.
Imagine you dropped it on your drink.
We got 1 minute to go. We have Chelo here in the background. I might have to adjust her camera as soon as we get started. But super excited that this is going to be her first live here with me. It's not a everyday thing that she's here, not working on a Sunday. So excited that she's able to join.
They have me against my will again.
Okay, 33 seconds to go. I dropped this little thing on my drink.
Is all this being recorded, babe?
Yeah, it's being recorded.
Si no llega nadie more por mi crepa.
Nah, because it still saves, so people watch it later.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if nobody shows up, what are we going to talk just between you and I?
I have everything there. I have everything there.
Oh.
Somebody already commented.
Welcome to Nomas Podcast Live, where we will react to videos, talk about current trending events, and possibly one or two conspiracies. So let's sit back, relax, and let's chat.
Nomas.
And we are freaking live. Let me try to adjust the camera light because, man, it's focusing on Chilo right now. Let me see. Yeah, you're too far, babe. You need to get closer because it's like focusing on you.
Well, where's my camera?
Just, man, it's focusing on you. Okay, there we go. So okay, so it continues focusing on you. Sorry.
I gotta go. It's fine.
We're trying to figure out the cameras here. Yeah, it continues focusing on you. Man, I'm trying to figure this out. Sorry, this is the first time that we do this, and yeah, I see the camera just focusing mostly on Chilo right now. We'll get this started right now. Sorry about that. Why is it focusing on her? Why? Sorry. We'll get this started right now. Why is it focusing on her? Okay. Kind of focusing on me. Fuck. Sorry. It's all over the place already. Or can you get closer, babe?
There?
Yeah, sorry. Teddy Clement. Yeah, that's true. Fuck, it continues focusing on you. And now it's all over the place. Fuck. Nope. Nope.
Dude, I don't know how it's focusing on me if I'm over here in the back.
Get out of the seat, babe. I want to see something. We'll get this situated right now. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so there we go. I think it's focusing now on me. Yeah, now it is. So it was capturing Chelo there. So babe, I might have yeah. Okay. So I have that, and then I have this camera for you, babe. So can you get on that side? Pull the yeah.
Más?
Yeah, más para allá.
¿Para atrás o to the...
Just to that side. Yeah, right there. Try that.
Sorry, it got cold already.
I'll turn it off right now.
Let me put this over here. Ahí está.
Okay.
Better? I can't see nothing, dude.
Fuck. It continues focusing on Chelo. Why? Man, this is all over the place, so I apologize. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so fuck. Yeah, I don't like that. This is why I wanted Chelo to be here earlier, and literally she just got here, so it's throwing everything off. Babe, I might have to
I'm just gonna get out of here.
No, you might have to get out of the frame for right now. Fuck. Yeah, you might have to get out of the frame. Like, que no te mires.
So what way am I gonna go?
Yeah, like.
Más para acá?
Yeah, on that side.
God damn, let me just sit on the freaking bench then.
Yeah, sorry. It's because first of all, just want to say thank you for Chelo to join in, just because she was taking care of the baby and she literally just woke up. She was taking care of the baby and she fell asleep. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's gonna work out, babe. We got her all the way in the corner. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's perfect right there. I think we're good now. So now let me adjust this camera right now. Yeah, there we go. We can see you. Yeah, there we go. So we have that camera for Chelo, this camera for me. So okay, we're up and running now. Sorry about that. That took us like 5 minutes to sit straight. But yeah. Anyways, first of all, we're freaking live, and we have Chelo here in the back.
I'm like, keep trying to look this
No,
way, but
you're fine. So, uh, yeah, like I said, Chelo just woke up. She was taking care of the baby, and we're here. As always, as I like to say, every Wednesday we have a new podcast that it's pre-recorded, and every Sunday we have a live that where it's the main purpose of this live is just for us to interact, react to videos that are pretty much and I guess it catches the attention of myself and a couple of you guys that like to join in on Sunday. So this is more to have a conversation more than anything. And today we're going to be having the perspective of look at her in the
dude, I don't
little
even
chair.
know where I'm looking.
You're going to be looking here.
Oh, okay.
So that's the video that you're going to be looking at.
That's my screen.
Yeah, that's going to be your screen. And then we're going to have our video reaction right there. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, I just want to say, Mr. Yak Yak, thank you for taking the time to show up. And he says you have her working on Mother's Day. Yeah.
Last minute.
But I took her out yesterday for Mother's Day, and we had a nice dinner. Did you enjoy dinner, babe?
Yes. We had Cheesecake Factory yesterday.
Yeah, we went to Cheesecake. It was pretty good. And today we stopped by her parents' home, and we just hung out for a little bit. Cool. So I'm not sure who else is going to be joining. I know it is Mother's Day, but more than anything, I just wanted to take the time to, do this live and experiment, doing something new, having a guest here. But now I know that I need to set up the cameras ahead of time. And more than anything, just make sure that I have the right lighting for the guest. That way the camera doesn't focus on them. Long story short, we're going to get started with this live, and we'll take it from there. You're able to see the screen, right, babe?
Yes.
All right. So the first video that we're going to be watching today is the DJ priest that turned Christianity into a rave. Not sure if I'm going to be able to play the actual audio, at least not all of it, but at least I'll play a little bit and then I'll skip to the next song. But check this out. So there we go. The DJ priest who turned Christianity into a rave. First of all, what do you think, Chelo? Do you think just by reading the caption, do you think that's something that you would be like, what the heck? Why are they even doing this, or what?
Yeah, I would be like, what the hell's going on? But like I think the concept is pretty cool.
Why?
Because it's something different. Like that to me, dude, like the first part, it sounds like Tomorrowland or something like that.
Yeah, it's freaking.
But it's not.
I personally think it's dope just because it's something different. And if it is the simple fact that they are playing like church music and music that is praising God or whatnot, I feel like it's cool. And I feel like now in modern times, we have to get creative to catch more attention and have more people, I guess, turn to God, I guess you want to say.
Yeah, because I feel like that's more entertaining than when they play the regular songs, because usually like it sounds pretty boring.
Yeah, I agree. So here we go.
My personal opinion.
Yeah. All right. That sounds dope already. What do you think so far?
Yeah.
I think it's freaking dope. Damn, that's sick, huh? Now, I don't know if I can play the whole freaking song, so I need to pause it in between. Here we go. Crazy. All right, the next song. They even have the Virgen. They even have the Virgen de Guadalupe right there. So this is the thing, though. I don't know if this is like a true priest, that he's actually doing this for service, or he's just doing it for entertainment purposes. You get what I mean?
Like, to me, it also seems like if he dressed up as a priest, but it's actually a rave,
Right.
and then they're just playing the music like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I guess we'll look into the comments right now and see what they say.
Where is this church at?
Yeah, yeah, for real.
I
Huh?
want to go there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We'll see if this is if we can get additional information. All right.
And be kind to one another, compassionate, forgive
Yeah, I can't play the whole thing just because it might get copyrighted, but man, this sounds freaking dope.
one another as God has.
Everybody's like so into it.
Mhm.
Look at him. That's a priest right there. You think he looks like an actual priest?
Yeah, he does. It doesn't really look like.
Dude, look at the light, dude. Just hitting him like from heaven, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else. Damn, this is dope. Well, he's in church right there. So who knows? Oh,
Is
there
it
you
with
go.
the Pope?
Oh, what the heck? He's with the Pope, dude. I don't know. Let me see if I can pull up the comments and see what it
Okay,
says.
maybe it is real.
It looks like it's real. Can I pull up the comments? Let's see. There we go. Let's dance in Jesus' name, amen. So everybody's like, fire. Our Father in heaven, let the party begin. Eat, sleep, praise, repeat. So it looks like perfect last dance. What an amazing time to be alive, to be able to see this come to fruition. I'm so blessed to see this beautiful side of life instead of all the mystery that the news wants us to give us. Keep shining bright. Yeah, so far I think everybody's like liking it. If this is true, if this guy is truly a priest and he's doing this for service, I think this is freaking dope.
I feel like that's a way to have more people go to church, dude. Because honestly, like when I was a kid and my mom would take us to church, it would be like, oh, like it's so boring. Me quedaba dormida. And I don't know, it was just like the songs are like not hitting or whatever the word of the day was.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree.
And for me, like a couple years ago, when I used to do caregiving, I used to have a viejito that he would go to church every Sunday, and I was like, dude, no, I have to do this. But the church was actually pretty fun. It was mostly like just singing songs.
Yeah, so aquí Damián dice como la misa de Roblox.
For real.
Yeah, that's freaking true, right? Because in Roblox, there were so many people out there like freaking like in their own little character, but they still went to mass and service, right? Yeah, exactly. They still went out there and did it one way or another, right? So I think overall, what would be your overall rating for this? You think it's a good thing?
I think it's a good thing.
I think so
Like
too.
I would even go to church, dude, like just to experience that.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's freaking dope. So yeah, that was the first video reaction that I wanted to pull up. And so if you clicked on the actual, if you see the thumbnail, obviously you can see, why is this not focusing? Let me see. There we go. Okay, so if you saw the thumbnail, it's still not focusing. Man, I need to figure something out. There, fuck.
He's just gonna put his hand up to block me.
Sorry about that, man. We're running into technical difficulties today, I believe. Oh, it's focusing on the sign.
Which sign?
Yeah, the Nomas
podcast.
podcast.
Oh.
Let me see. There we go. Yeah, dude. I feel like I always have everything dialed in, but today for some reason it's all over the place. Fuck. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, it might be the light that is too bright or something.
Maybe.
There we go. I think it's that. But okay, anyways, so if you saw the thumbnail of today's live, I ran across this TikTok that read, notice the difference between him and him, but it was the same guy, but different. And you'll see what I mean. So right there, it's one of those TikToks that you see like, okay, so what's the story behind this, right? And you can notice the difference between him and then here goes the other guy. And that's the same guy but now living a different lifestyle. It almost seemed like he looked a little bit homeless, right? Or what do you think?
Yes, he did. That's the
Right,
first thing that came to
right.
my mind.
Like he almost looked sad in a way, like by his the stare of his eyes. So I was like, what the heck? So what happened to him? Because here he looks like, okay, like your regular average guy, right? So I'm like, okay, so I wanted to find out a little bit more of what the story was, and I ended up finding um, this right here. Well, first of all, let me see if I can pull up the comments real quick. Okay, so the first comment is he broke free from the Matrix. Alive, imagine if we all woke up. So what do you think the video is going to be about if you don't already know?
Mm,
Oh shit, sorry.
I think he might have just quit his job and like pursue something that he really wanted to do, or go travel, or I don't know, like just not do a 9 to 5.
Yeah, so you pretty much got it.
I got it.
Yeah, you got it. So the video is a man quits corporate job to sail around the world.
My name is Oliver. I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life.
So here, let me rewind it.
My name is Oliver. I work a corporate job at a tire shop. I absolutely hate this life. Yeah, I'm going to buy a sailboat and I'm going to sail around the world for the rest of my life.
So he's saying, I work this corporate job that I hate. How many people out there do you know, Chilo, that they dislike their current job, but they continue working there because they need to in order to make a living?
I think that's mostly everybody.
Right. But why do you think people do it though? Obviously for the bills, right? I understand that. But why is it that people don't strive to make a difference to change their life around? Change their life around. Why do you think that is?
Maybe because that's everything they know.
But don't you think that you can make a change into your life, like start from scratch?
Yeah, but then starting from scratch sounds scary.
It is. But when playing a video game, you're able to quit and reset the game and start all over. And if people were to actually take their life in that matter, I think you would end up with different results from time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
All right, so let's see what happens here.
It's my life until I die. This is the start of my journey.
Oh, I'm getting double audio.
And this
I'm getting double audio. Sorry about that.
Of crossing the Pacific Ocean and sailing from Oregon to Hawaii. And I made it past the graveyard of the Pacific, and this is my first time sailing outside of a river. And I'm going for Hawaii. So it could take me anywhere between 20 to 30 days. So feel free to follow the journey. There is nothing but open ocean and a beautiful sunset. I did it. I did it.
So that's the thing, dude. Like when I first saw this video, it almost seemed for some reason.
Staged?
No, not staged. Why is it not focusing? There we go. Okay. Maybe light is man. Maybe there's too much light going on. Okay, there we go. There we go. I think it's yeah. There we go. It's better now. So when I first saw this video, and if you saw that too, Chelo, you could tell that this guy's, man, the freaking camera is not focusing. Golly, but when we first saw it, you could tell that the guy was almost like his eyes were teary. So the thing is that no matter what you do in life, it's damn if you do, damn if you don't, right? It's almost gonna be like you're gonna regret even doing something like this gentleman did, right? That you quit, but then you're gonna be like, dang, I had it good with my freaking 9 to 5, and now I decided to do this. like, what the heck did I just did? And you're gonna start questioning everything, all your decisions. So who knows how tough it's really is tough to follow your dreams and all that, because now you probably don't have a steady income coming in, and you have to rely on other means, right?
Yeah, but then if you don't have a steady income coming in, that's when you're like, fuck, like you're gonna put all your attention to whatever you're doing because that's you're hoping and praying it freaking generates something.
Yeah, that I agree with. And yeah, like Alonso, remember it's Alfonso or
No,
Alonso?
Alfonso. This
Alfonso.
dude.
Yeah. So one of the guys that came onto the podcast, he actually he left to Mexico, I believe, to
Yes, he did. He's
yeah,
over there already.
he left to Mexico. He's the guy that did ayahuasca, and he went to the Amazon jungle to do a couple days of ayahuasca, and he decided just to live here, San Diego, and he moved to Mexico for a couple. I'm assuming for a couple years. So who knows? So I think that's very admirable. Mr. Yak Yak says, I agree with Chilo. Looks staged to me. He's too clean, and how is he paying for internet out in the Pacific?
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Unless he recorded that at one point, and then whenever he made it to the other end, he freaking posted everything.
You know what? That's a good point, because now I feel like people can stage everything, and just to create like clicks and views and likes and all that.
Dude, because he just said it's gonna take him 20, 30 days to get to, where was he going? Hawaii?
I think so, yeah.
And he said he's never been sailing outside the river, so I'd be scared of shit freaking sailing in the middle of the ocean with God knows who.
Right. Who knows? Yeah. So yeah, it might be one of those things like similar to last time. I think I was talking about this, right? That there was a guy that was talking about the casket being a little bit too light, and he was questioning what the true intent of the caskets being empty possibly. But I feel like people find like a niche and they run with it, and because they start getting a lot of following, so they create the stories to, I guess, become popular in social media. So you might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might be right. So yeah, so let me see what the comments are stating here. Dear God, protect this man and help him make it to safety in Hawaii one day or day one. I agree with that. This is correct usage of free will. Oh, bro was not kidding. So a lot of people are supporting them. Looks like Phoenix is rising. Safe travels. Discount tire manager. So you're still coming in Monday? Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, if this is a true like actual video that he actually took initiative to quit his corporate job and pursue his, I guess, his life dream, then more to it. And it takes a lot of courage to do this type of thing. So all right, so the next video that I wanted to showcase here, it kind of goes aligned with what we were watching right here, babe. It goes aligned that we are so conditioned and we are born into this society, into the system that it's been applied, that when you are born right away, you have to follow all the different rules that are given to us. So we're going to go ahead and play that right now. And what's going on, Julie Cakes? Sub homie late, but here. Nah, no worries, bro. I actually have Chilla here in the back. She's joining us today. It's been a mess, bro. It's been a mess with the freaking cameras. I think I got it locked down a little bit, but yeah, the camera's not focusing like as I would want to, because I think it was capturing Cello for a little bit and then capturing my sign in the back. We're running with it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'm learning a couple of things here. So that's like I think Mr. Damian mentioned that that's part of the thing of going live, that not everything is going to be perfect, but glad you were able to make it. So all right, so this is the video that that talks about that we've been programmed as soon as we come into this realm. And it's this video perfectly explains how we are programmed early in life.
So the programs that you get for the first 7 years, are not yours. So the programs that you get for the first 7 years are not yours. They came from other people, and they pass that on to you. But the problem is, it's not just the previous generation, the generation before, the generation before, so we pass down through the family. Here's the problem, big time. Science has found that 90% of our life, we're thinking. When the conscious mind is thinking, it's not paying attention. When the conscious mind is not paying attention, the subconscious program is the default.
Ooh, were you able to catch that?
Yes.
What do you take from that?
Like,
Okay, you didn't get it? You want me to play it again?
so it says when the conscious mind doesn't.
Here, let me play it again. Okay? No.
Paying attention. That 95% of our life, we're thinking. When the conscious mind is thinking, it's not paying attention.
When the conscious mind is thinking,
It's not thinking.
no, it's thinking.
Oh, I thought it said it's not
Listen.
thinking.
When the conscious mind is thinking.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so when the conscious mind is thinking,
It doesn't pay attention.
it doesn't pay attention. How do you take that? What do you think he means by that? And I think you mentioned something like this not too long ago.
Oh, I know. I was gonna bring it up. Okay.
So bring that up.
So, usually when I'm at work, I'm listening to podcasts, and I started hearing this, something William. No, I don't remember the name.
Right.
Point is, she was saying in the podcast that, a lot of the times, like, our guardian angels, or the universe, God, sends us messages or signs, but we never pay attention to them because we're so busy, like, doing other things in this 3D world.
Right.
And she's like, oh, like, every day when I wake up, I'm like, okay, today I'm gonna find hearts. And it can be a drawing, it can be a sign, it can be a leaf, anything that represents a heart. So I'm at work and I'm listening to this podcast, and I was like, okay, like, I believed it, but part of me was like, okay, this is BS. So I'm doing my work, and the first thing that comes up was a bag of bird food, and the logo was a red heart. And I was like, okay, whatever, coincidence. Then there was something else that came up, and it was a box of roller skates, and the box was purple, but they had like different colored hearts around the whole box. And I was like, okay, this is getting a little weird. And then I went to grab my badge, and then I realized that my lanyard had hearts. And I was like, okay, dude, like, this is the third time. So literally in the span of like 15 minutes after I heard what she said about the hearts, I saw the hearts like a good 10 times.
Right.
And I was like, what the heck? This is crazy. So then after that, like I started applying it every day to be like, okay, like, let's see if we see a heart. And maybe it's not as often throughout the whole day, but then if you set the intention, like, you'll see it.
Right. And the way that I wanted to take it from here, which you got it right on point, right? The way that I also like to give my perspective to this is that, for instance, when there we go. Man, I don't know why this camera is not focusing today, but the way I looked at it is we're so busy and consumed with our day-to-day life,
on
right?
their phone and everything else.
Yeah, especially on our phone, right? On our phones, on work, paying bills, sport events, that we're so consumed with so many different things that even though our minds are running and we're like thinking, but it's not paying attention. However, and this, when I heard this, it kind of brought the idea of meditating. How you when you said that when you start meditating, you're able to see this light being kind of like forming in the middle of your forehead,
Yes.
your third eye, right? And it's kind of interesting that nowhere really out there in the media, they don't really promote meditation to stop thinking, right? They never say stop thinking. On the contrary, they want you to be consumed with so much information out there that you don't have the time to stop and just get inside of your mind and inside of yourself to really understand your, I guess, your spirit or your true self, because a lot
Yes.
of these thoughts are not truly yours. It's things that are just popping up on your screen on your phone, like from every freaking second. So
And
you don't
then,
so you don't give your time to just not think.
dude, right now you just made me remember something from the last time I did ayahuasca, because I was receiving a bunch of messages, and like I feel like at one point I was getting like overwhelmed with everything that I was being told. And then the voice in ayahuasca was like, but we can also stay, like, nos podemos quedar callados. And I was like, what? Like, we can stay, like, and at this point I had never meditated. And I was like, what? Like, you mean like I can shut my, literally, like, not think for a minute, or like not, yeah, like basically not think for a minute, or not get all these messages. And I remember, like, at that point I like snapped out of like the visions, and everything I could hear was the shaman like singing. And it
Hmm.
was like everything else was quiet. It was like if nobody else was in the room, and I could just clearly hear the music. And then it's like kind of like saying like, see, like, you don't always have to be thinking, and your mind has to be running like crazy.
Mm, that's very interesting. You know, when I tried to meditate, like I think because you honestly motivated me to try to do meditating, but even just the thought of me meditating and like just putting meditation music, closing my eyes and not thinking, it almost got me scared, dude. Did you ever?
It's scary, because it's like, dude, like, you're so used to like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like, your mind is like going a million places through the whole day. And I feel like that's why we never live like in the moment. Like, we're always thinking about, oh, I should have done this yesterday, or I need to do this tomorrow. And we're never like here. And when you meditate, it's like you're here and you're now, and like it's just you.
Right.
And it's scary, because it's like, dude, like, I need to like, I can shut down my brain. And honestly, like, for me, it's like you always have this little voice inside, like, oh, like, telling you all these things, or giving you all these thoughts, that shutting it down, it's scary. But then as you continue meditating, it becomes like, okay, like, this is like my me time, and like I don't get to think, like I don't get to do anything. It's just like my peace.
Yeah. All right, so I just want to give a quick shout out to Miss Lisbeth. She says, I'm new to the channel, and she's saying hi to everyone. This is Liz. I just want to say thank you for taking the time. Today is a little bit different because I actually have Chelo here in the background, and she's on Sundays. She doesn't really join the lives, so I've been struggling to get the cameras like right and perfect, and I've been struggling today. So it's been a little crazy live going on, but I think like Mr. Damian mentioned earlier, that's part of like going live and not having so much of everything being perfect. So more than anything, I just want to say hi. Hopefully you enjoy. I'm not sure if you watched our past podcast, which we do every Wednesday, and Sundays we do lives, which is more interacting. So people in the chat, if you guys don't mind just saying hi to Liz and welcoming to the comment section into the chat. So thank you, Liz, for joining. But yeah, dude. So when I was like you said, when I tried to meditate, it was scary because like, oh shit, it's kind of like entering a realm of the unknown.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very interesting. So let's finish watching this video and see what else he has to say.
I think Teddy wants to go outside.
Can you let him out, Biff?
Ay, espérame.
Yeah.
It's not paying attention. When the conscious mind is not paying attention, the subconscious program is the default. Well, if you understand that, then it says only 5% of the time you're running your life with your creative mind, the wishes and the desires and what you want. 5%, 95% of your life is coming from the program. Yeah, but the program is not your wishes and desires, it's other people's behavior. 95% of the day you are playing programs that psychologists tell us are limiting, disempowering, self-sabotaging. All of us, every one of us, every day, plays programs that we don't see, and they're not ours. All we see is the result. And we go, oh my goodness, this is not what I wanted. Yeah, but
Yeah, you see, this is not what I wanted, but because you've been listening to everybody's point of view and perspective and everything we've been programmed with, you almost end up in a life that you don't desire,
Mm-hmm.
right? Similar to that guy that we just finished watching his TikTok, that he decided to quit his corporate job to get in a boat and sail his pretty much life away, going across the ocean up to Hawaii. And that's the thing, like that's very very admirable. It's very scary, but it takes a brave person to actually do that. And I know at times you can't really leave your job, your full-time job, and quit everything, right? But that's why I like to encourage people to, if you can't really quit your job, but spend that extra time, that extra hour on a day-to-day basis working on something that you actually love and enjoy. So you, I don't know, maybe at one point everything that you love and enjoy eventually can fruition and become your full-time job. And this is why I put pressure on myself to get out of my comfort zone and doing these lives and doing podcasts, just and getting away from being scared and being okay with not being perfect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Yeah, and honestly, like you can reprogram your conscious mind, and all of that ties back to meditation
Yeah.
and doing all other kinds of things. And to the books that I've read, that's why they say like it's really important how a kid grows up within those first 7 years, because that's gonna somewhat determine how they're gonna, like all the like for example, like one of them, it's like if you grow up and your parent, all you hear is like, oh, like no hay dinero, no hay dinero, no hay dinero, then you're gonna obviously grow up with this sense of like, oh, like I don't have money, I'm never gonna have enough, like, you know.
That's very very interesting. I totally agree. The thing is, everything that everybody, especially I feel like in the Mexican community, I feel like we are so used to hearing those negative messages and programming, right? Especially when it comes down to, like, let's say if a kid is playing sports, then le van a dar carrilla. Like if he makes a mistake, like,
Yeah.
estás bien way. It's always like they always want it, like in the Mexican community, most of the times, not saying all the times, right? But a lot of the times, once again, it's not freaking focusing. But a lot of the times they le dan carrilla a los niños instead of being encouraging, like a lot of the, like, los americanos, los güeros, they're like, oh, great job, Bobby. And like they encourage them, even though if they make a mistake, they'll be like, oh, you'll get it next time, or what, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Right. So I totally agree with that. All right. So the next video that we're going to be getting into, I know in the past, man, it's bugging me that I can't get the camera right. I think it's the sign. I think it looks better now. I think. I don't know. We'll just take it from there. I apologize. Next time, okay. I think it was the sign that was not making me focus. But all right. So like we've spoken in the past, we've talked about ancient civilizations in the Tartarian Empire. So from time to time, I come across different videos depicting a lot of these structures, and these structures are freaking amazing, and there's nowhere out there that we're currently building like these structures. So I wanted to show you guys right now. It also showcases showcases the Tartarian Empire building evidence of the mud flood. So check this out.
Okay, if you want unequivocal, slam dunk evidence of a mud flood or intentional burial, you're about to get it. This hotel in London has 4 floors, but the original sketches of the building have 5 floors, which they say weren't completed to save on costs. But
So the audio seems very low on this one. Can you hear it?
Kind of.
Okay, so I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear it, but if you guys can hear it, let me know you guys can hear it. But here, let me play it again. So it's pretty much dictating.
Okay, if you
So
want
first of all, look at the structure. Look at the architecture, the building of this, the way that it was built. freaking amazing. It looks like almost like a castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what this guy is saying, I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but it's saying that there's documentation that this building itself was supposed to have 5 different floors, but apparently it was only built with 4 floors. And he's gonna pretty much prove that there was mud flood, and the documentation out there, it's not accurate.
Unequivocal, slam dunk evidence of a mud flood or intentional burial, you're about to get it. This hotel in London has 4 floors, but the original sketches of the building have 5 floors, which they say weren't completed to save on costs. But as you can see, I had to walk up steps to reach the hotel. But it looks as if underground, beneath this glass, the building just keeps on going. And it turns out there's a London Underground station beneath the building.
Okay, so he's saying that there's an underground train station down below. Okay, so far you're
Yeah, I'm
kind of
good.
okay.
So let's go and check it out. And what do you know? We found the missing 5th floor.
Okay, so there we go. So he goes to the underground station,
Oh.
and there goes that 5th floor that was supposedly never built. And as you can see, it still has the
The same architecture.
yeah, same architecture and the windows, but they've been blocked off with brick. The only thing is that they're saying, so now he's saying that this is true evidence of the mud flood, because the actual current level of the street is 1 floor up, but now since it was flooded, completely flooded, they just put concrete and street on the top section, and they're calling this underground a train station, but in reality, it was the 5th floor.
You mean this was the first one, no?
Yeah, this is the 5th floor that they said that they never built, but this is the floor that is currently underground, but it was covered due to the mud floods.
Mm.
Underground. And it can't just be a basement, because why are there bricked up windows there? All they've done is simply build a station around the buried ground floor. And here you can see, up through the looking glass, all 5 stories of the building. And here you see a sketch of the building with the 5th floor, which they say was not built. Even knowing you can see the 5th floor for yourself in the underground station, hidden in plain sight. Am I taking crazy pills? It's right there.
Yeah, insane. What do you think about that, Chelo? That there's so much evidence out there of like history that has been lost through time, and we were never taught any of this.
Yeah, I feel like the history that were taught in school, it's not that accurate. I mean, I'm not saying it's all a lie, but I feel like they've just tweaked history along the way.
So how do you think we should tackle when our baby goes to school and all that? You think we should tell her like to follow the curriculum and us trying to teach her what we've seen through TikToks and videos and things of that sort, or what do you think?
Honestly, I haven't even thought about that.
Yeah, but it's something that we should consider, right? Eventually,
Yeah.
because to my point of view, I feel like, and it's tough, right? Because she's gonna hear what once again, the programming, right, of school and all that. But and obviously you want to, like, you don't want to distort her mind, but then at the same time you don't want her to be lied to. So it's gonna be something that we still need to like talk about and try to find the best way possible to
just think outside the box.
outside of the box, but then you don't want her to be a trouble kid. Like, nah, my dad told me that this is not
No, you
true.
get called in.
Yeah. Or I know in the past we've talked about like possibly like homeschooling. Not sure if that's still a thing for like you necessarily, or maybe getting another teacher to homeschool. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's just crazy that a lot of like history has been lost through time, and the history they teach us is not, to my point of view, it's not totally factual.
In homeschool, you can choose the curriculum that they learn.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you can choose like don't quote me on this, but to what I've seen and what I've heard, like you're like, oh, like I want my child to learn this, this, and this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because on school, like every freaking school, like every elementary in the same school district, they're all gonna learn the same thing because they're all under the same curriculum.
Okay.
And for homeschool, like you can tweak the curriculum to whatever you want for your kid, and they don't have to do school the whole day. It's just like 2 or 3 hours a day.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I thought like homeschool was the same thing as going to school, kind of like a whole day thing, but it's not.
That's interesting. All right, so we'll do. Oh shit! We'll do one last video of Tartarian Empire. This one freaking, it's mind blowing the way that like just so many buildings out there that since a lot of the times now they call these like post offices or schools or churches, that we disregard the beauty of these buildings and structures. And this one in particular, they're saying that old technology, and this was possibly it was an elevator from the Tartarian Empire.
An elevator.
What have we found here? Are we looking at a holdover
Check it out. Freaking crazy. Look at that building, man. They're saying that this was possibly maybe an elevator of some sort.
of some old world technology? This is the Santa Justa lift in Lisbon, Portugal. A steampunk looking elevator which dates back to 1899. But could it be even older than that, with the date just a mere fabrication? Some interesting geometric patterns on the.
And if you notice, all those ancient buildings, all of them had that ancient geometry or that frequency designs on them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't build like this anymore.
No.
At all.
On the side there. I'd love to take a ride and show you the view from the inside, but this is being filmed on the day of the mysterious Portuguese and Spanish blackout, so it isn't operational. They knew I was coming. But here's the view you get from.
Dude, look how it looks right there.
Dude, it freaking stands out of the whole little town.
Look at that. It freaking overshadows everything. Like current buildings don't even stand a chance against this one.
From the top of the tower, at least. It has a height of 45 meters covering 7 stories and includes 2 elevator cabins, each capable of holding up to 29 people. They literally don't make them like this anymore, do they? Another was built around the same time, but of course has since been demolished. What a waste.
Yeah. What do you think, Chilo? But by the way, before you answer that, man, freaking cameras. Anyways, it is what it is. But Liz is saying Happy Mother's Day to Chilo and everyone in the channel.
Thank you. Happy Mother's Day for your mom too.
Yep. So what do you think of these structures? Had you heard of the Tartarian Empire?
No, that's what I was gonna say because I'm like, what's the Tartarian Empire?
Yeah. So but you've seen all these different buildings.
Yeah,
right?
I've seen them.
So what do you think about these buildings? Like if you had seen these type of buildings, you probably never really considered much about them. You just saw them as buildings, right?
Yes.
But now that you know that there's more to it than just these.
Like, I think it's crazy to see that was allegedly an elevator because he said it was from the 18 something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm thinking elevator. I'm like, oh, the 2000s. Like, I didn't think they would have elevators back then. It's just now they're a little bit more different.
Right. But you know that even the Balboa Park here, it has a similar structure to that, and we never really pay attention to even buildings we have here locally. So check it out. I know we've talked about this in the past, but I'm not sure if Chilo has noticed or considered this.
Oh, yeah.
But look at that. Even look how beautiful the buildings are. We don't build like this.
Mm-hmm.
And something that we mentioned here in the channel before is that even I think it was right here, the Balboa Park here. There, a lot of these buildings, they would always put bells on the very top and always some sort of either copper piece of structure on the very top for a lot of people say for a free energy source. And yeah, even here, Balboa Park, we had it here. We've seen the building so many times. Sorry, Teddy's. So we see these buildings, but we don't really consider nothing great about them because we're so accustomed to seeing them. But if once you start analyzing these buildings, they're a beauty. They're mind
Mm-hmm.
blowing. Like, tell me who's gonna build that right now,
Nobody.
right? But you never really paid attention to that.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's just freaking crazy that, and it goes back to what we're saying right now, that since we're always thinking, but we're not paying attention.
Yeah, we're like, oh, like that looks nice, but then that's pretty much it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just so many mysteries in this world. Like they say, life in general. I forgot the actual quote, but it's reality. It's stranger than fiction. Do you agree? Disagree?
Reality is stranger than fiction.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, what is reality?
Right. It's and that's why reality.
I don't
is
even
stranger
think
than-
reality is what we think it is.
What do you think it is? You think we live in a simulation?
Maybe it could be anything.
I think Chelo might answer the Matrix, right? Oh shit, not this one. Sorry. Let me see. There we go. Chelo's entering the Matrix.
No, my-
Chelo's in the Matrix. Look at her. But all right, so the next video that we're gonna get into right now is it's pretty much saying globular lighting. So I had never really heard about this until I saw this video. In pretty much a brief description, it states globular lightning isn't a widely recognized scientific term, but it's likely a variation or misinterpretation of ball lightning. So let me say that again. So globular lightning isn't a widely recognized scientific term, but it's likely a variation or misinterpretation of ball lightning. So have you ever seen a lightning in a ball?
no.
All right, so let's so this is the way that it currently supposedly looks. So right there. That's supposedly what globular lightning is. I had never heard that before.
Globular?
Yeah, but that's
Like globe?
yeah, like
Oh,
there
okay.
we go, globular.
Yeah, globally, globe.
Yeah, and so that's supposedly how it looks. And then I came across this video right here.
What the hell?
Yeah. Freaking insane, right?
Yeah, that almost looks fake to me though.
It almost seems fake, but check it out, and it even seemed as if the lightning was walking.
Yeah.
So here, let me play it once again. So here, let me speed it up right here. Right
They're
there.
like the legs. Look, one, two, one.
It looks freaking fake, but it apparently went all over the news. Yeah, so who knows? Who knows now with AI and all these videos, different videos, not sure if this is actual factual or not, but it caught my attention. And apparently if you Google it, apparently it is a thing, but it's very uncommon for people to catch it on video. This is the first time I ever
And
heard
like, what
about
are the odds it's in a freaking parking lot, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you would think it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's super crazy, but apparently it is a thing. And yeah, so one thing here that Liz is mentioning, she's saying, Chad, where I live, there's a full moon. I don't know if anyone here believes in full moon energy. I know Cello does. What do you think that energy, full moon energy is, Cello?
I didn't know we were in a full moon, but I've heard that whenever there's a full moon or like an eclipse or something, it affects the zodiac signs, and it affects each person differently or each zodiac sign differently.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Liz, where exactly do you live? We're here in San Diego locally. I think the majority of people that jump onto these lives with us. Sorry about this. Um, freaking cameras. Ah. Anyways, I'll figure out next time. But where do you live? That there's a full moon. I don't think we have a full moon right now here in San Diego, right?
Not that I know of.
But yeah, so I guess it's like anything, right? The moon itself, it affects the ocean, the waves, the tide, right? And they say, you know how they say that our body is mostly water, and
Mm-hmm.
if the full moon impacts the tide of the ocean or whatnot, don't you think the moon itself?
It's gonna affect all of us.
Yes.
Yes.
Why? Because we're mostly water.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. But man, this freaking camera is bugging me. I'll figure it out. I think it's because I have, I don't know, maybe the lighting or whatnot. But
The glasses.
I'll figure out later. She's saying that she lives in Los Angeles, California, so not too far away. So we
Maybe
might,
we do have a
yeah.
full
So
moon.
we probably do have a full moon.
We're gonna go outside and look right now.
All right, so we're almost at that 1 hour mark. I like to actually we are in the 1 hour mark. So I got like two more videos and we'll just call it a night. Uh, so this is another video of the globular ball of lightning crossing railroad tracks. I think this one, I'm not sure. You guys can let me know if this is actual true or AI. Are you able to see it?
Yeah, I can see.
So just look, similar effect as the other one. You see how it's stretching out?
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. Let me play it again.
I feel like the video quality of that video looks so weird.
Yeah, let me play.
I don't know if it has a filter on it. Like, it just looks weird.
Right.
Like if we went back in time or something. And then something like drops from the post-it too.
Yeah, it's super weird. I had never heard of this thing before, but apparently it's a thing. Toño, super glad you were able to make it, bro. I know today's Mother's Day. I know everybody's busy. It's Sunday tomorrow. We all have, the majority of us have to go to work, but glad you were able to make it. Something different today. I have Chelo here joining us today. My camera quality has been all over the place because it's focusing on Chelo. Teddy, it's okay. Hey, so somebody threw
Un cohete.
un cohete, so you know how dogs get startled. But yeah, it's been a little bit of a mess just with my camera and all that. But I had Chelo here. We'll figure this out in case Chelo joins in for another live. But yeah, so thank you for joining. And then this one in particular, the last one we're going to showcase, I think this one in particular, I think this is fake, but you guys can let me know if this is fake or not. So it says this globular lightning enters the house.
Nah. What the hell?
I
think that one's fake.
Yeah, I think if there's one of these that were fake, I think it had to be that one. That one's for sure fake. Just because like you would expect everybody in the house just freaking running around.
Especially if you don't know that thing's just gonna haul ass at you.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody would be like, hey, let's freaking get out. Now, the other thing too is, and we'll almost end this live right now, but the thing is, remember that video I showed you? So I have a camera that kind of points to the entrance of the house, and there was a time being that for some reason I looked at the camera like because it detected motion at like I think it was like midnight or something, and it was two balls of orbs, like perfect circles.
That they entered through the front door.
Yeah, they entered through our window and just traveled across our house. And at the time being, I was like, oh well, it just happened to capture that, and I didn't really put much thought into it. But now that I think about it, now that I've like gotten more into like thinking outside of the box, I'm like, man, I should have saved that freaking video because they were perfectly two orbs just traveling across our house.
You know what? Now that I remember, I don't even think the notifications for that camera were on. I think you just went and looked for something, or you were deleting stuff and you came across that video. Because I don't remember you ever saying that the notifications or that you would have it on all the time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Like you were doing something and then all of a sudden you came across that video and we were both tripping out.
Yeah, because that camera in specific, I never really check it. Just I have it there in case of knock on wood, right? But just one of those things that you never know. So I have it like there, and for some reason that time it caught some motion or something like that, and it was that. So it was just super.
And
super
it was
weird.
at night.
So what are orbs supposedly, like spirits?
To what I've heard, they're supposed to be spirits
Really?
of somebody that already passed away.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. And it was two of them. It wasn't just one. It was two.
It was two perfectly, and they were traveling together.
Yeah, like if they're like brother and sisters,
Like,
twins or
yeah,
something.
like
I
a
don't
couple
know. Yeah.
just- Yeah, insane. But knock on wood, right? But yeah, we've never really had anything crazy happen around the house or anything like that. And I feel like if they were orbs, I feel like it's almost like good spirit, if anything, right?
Yeah.
But all right, so you guys have anything before we end the live? By the way, like I said, thank you guys for joining every single Sunday. If you guys are recurrent, Liz, if you're new, like you said, you're new. But we're gonna do this again next Sunday, and I do have a number here that you guys can send me links. You guys can send me links here. That way we can react to and talk as a community. If there's anything that captures your guys' attention, if it's funny, if it's anything like conspiracy related, this is the number where you guys can showcase and send me links so we can talk about it as a community here next Sunday live. So, man, once again, thank you guys. You guys make this Sunday live, so you guys make it so much fun and eventually just continue growing and growing. But yeah, any final words from your end, Chilo?
I don't think everybody heard, but this was my first live.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe it's because there was too much going on right now with the cameras.
Yeah, I think today was just, it's because I'm not sure if you guys, well, for the people that just joined in, it's Cello like got here when I was like honestly live already, so I didn't have time to like set up the cameras, make sure that everything was perfectly, so I had to just wing it. But yeah, so I really enjoy them. I think right now there was just too much going on, but I feel like if we do it again and we have everything set up like a perfect like location for you, the camera's actually focusing on me and stuff like that, then I think eventually it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else that you guys want to share or talk about before we end this, then I think we're going to call it a day. And like I said, send me video links to this number so we can talk about it next Sunday. With that being said, if I don't see any comments right now, then I think we're going to end it right now. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Till next time.
Bye.